Welcome to the Healing Heart podcast, where all healing is always a matter of the heart. I'm your host, Donna Campbell, also known as the Mind Whisperer, interviewing guest experts on all matters of healing. Welcome to the Healing Heart podcast. And of course, I'm Donna Campbell, and I am so excited for our guest today because for more than 30 years, Monica Dubay has been an author, speaker, workshop leader, and transformational mentor. So I am so excited to be talking and sharing and interviewing with her today. Her first book, Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life, a Mindset Mastery Roadmap to Release Fear, Awaken to Your Highest Self, and Create a Powerful Life, was released in December of 2020. And she is an Amazon bestseller in educational philosophy and spiritual healing. Her mindset mastery method helps people shift quickly and transform their lives from the inside out. So Monica combines her spiritual energy release with mindset training, which cause clients to have rapid shifts in consciousness. That we definitely want to know more about. Clients claim to have more healing with her in a few months than in many years of traditional therapy. Monica's life is a testament to her dedication to help people awaken, heal from trauma, and create a business they truly love. She works with their mission-driven entrepreneurs to help them align to their highest level and impact. She does this by using her own mindset mastery method and signature program, Back to Basics Life Mastery, 10 weeks to free your mind and create a powerful life. So Monica is a powerful leader, having thoroughly embraced her path, A Course in Miracles, and along with other spiritual traditions to facilitate her work. So welcome today, Monica, and thank you for being on the show.
Oh, you're so welcome, Donna. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, so we have a lot of listeners, and so one of the questions I usually start off with is, how did you get into transformation, spiritual healing, becoming a healing, Course of Miracles? Share with us your pathway for you that transformed that part of your life.
Well, it all began back in 1989 when I hit a bout of depression for about 6 months. I was living in New York City, was married, was working in corporations, and I was very unhappy and I couldn't sleep and I was having a lot of trouble just functioning at all. It seemed to come out of nowhere, but later on, I could put the pieces together that there was a lot I was doing that was out of alignment with who I am, and working in Wall Street and in banks and insurance companies. And I was just sitting behind a cubicle writing documents, and it was so meaningless and so soul crunching that that I just really couldn't figure out what happened to my life. I had a master's in music. I was a clarinetist, and I was really good, but I couldn't do it for a living. And I think from that moment on, when I gave that up, things started to kind of get more and more depressing. And I think I found that truly I needed to find out what was going on in my mind. Like, why am I so depressed? All seemed suddenly, right? And so my thoughts and my beliefs were very negative and very scared, very traumatized is what it felt like. And I know that now. At the time, I was just totally stuck. Yeah. So I asked a bunch of people. I did go into therapy. I did do some hypnosis. Doctors just wanted to put me on meds, which I wouldn't do. Went to see a Catholic priest. I mean, I was very seriously needing support. And it wasn't until I found the Course in Miracles that I really got the answers to my questions. It really answered the dilemma of what it is to be a human being and to feel like you're off track or life isn't what you thought it would be, and to be in an existential crisis. This course really gave me the foundation of what my life is now and has been for 33 years. And it's been profound. The healing's been amazing. So it's been quite a journey. And I've been working with a lot of people in different capacities. But yeah, I guess you know, it's been a really incredible journey. And, you know, in hindsight, I can put the pieces together right now. It's just keeps opening up to more and more support for people and more elevation of of my life into the not mainstream, but into leadership, I guess I would say.
Nice. And share with us a little bit about the Course in Miracles and what that really is, because I know some of our listeners are new to the healing world. They may never have even heard of what that is. So share with us from your perspective, the Course in Miracles, and how did it help you transform for you?
Yeah. Excuse me. Well, the Course is a mind training.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 3 books. The first book is called The Text. The middle book is a workbook. And that's where the lessons are. So it's 365 lessons. And you read one every day. And it starts to open up your mind to a whole different way of thinking and believing. Excuse me. Choking on something here. And what it does is it brings up the idea that you have power over your mind. Mm-hmm. It helps you to see that you don't have to be a victim of the way that you've been taught or believed or brought up, the way you've been conditioned, especially with regard to religion. It gives you power over your experience of yourself and connects you to your higher power, I would say. Mm-hmm. Direct contact. And it gives you that sense of, oh, I have access to this. Because the moment I started doing it, within a few weeks, a voice started speaking to me very loud and clear, very like, you're going to do this, you're going to quit your job, you're going to go work over here, you're going to, and I was like, who said that? You know, it was quite startling at the time. And I'm going to drink a water here. It was so startling that, but I couldn't argue with it. It was giving me direction that made sense, right? And I was working in New York City. I did quit my job. I did end up working for Marianne Williamson for about a year at the time. I was really divinely sent there. Mm-hmm. And that was before she wrote her first book. So it was really at in this period where AIDS was huge. I mean, a lot of people were dying, kind of like the pandemic. And it was a really tough time to be in the world, right? Or in New York, especially. But I knew I had a calling, and it was giving me guidance. Go here, do this, do that. My husband was working in the music business, and he was helping Jonathan Larson write Rent. I mean, there's just a lot that was going on at the time that was pretty amazing.
I absolutely loved how you used your past to turn it into what I call silver lining gifts, but to create new pathways also for other people to follow. And in your bio, you talk about combining spiritual energy release with mindset training to cause a rapid shift in consciousness. So what does that look like for you working with your clients? And what are some of the results your clients receive for their quick transformations?
Well, it's deep work. I mean, we go deep into, I'm an empath, so I feel what they're feeling. I can pinpoint the exact belief they're holding that's holding them back. I've worked with people for so long that it's just, there it is. And I help them to connect to their real self or higher self, the adult self that knows how to heal everything. I help people really connect to that part of themselves. And then also, you know, the parts of them that need healing will surface. Mm-hmm. It's all around the mind, though. It's all around the belief that you're holding. What is it that you really believe here? Is it true? Right? And Byron Katie's work comes into it. I also do a lot of energetic release when I'm working with people. So, so we really root out the cause of the upset, of where they've been unable to move through their lives. You know, it's just where the energetic block is. So everything is in the energy, really. I mean, you can't heal things without shifting the energy. The energy has to shift. And that's really why this is so powerful and why it works very quickly. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. And when you talk about energy shifting, Because not all of our listeners know what energy is. What do you mean by that? And how does that energy transform, shift, and change? What do you consider energy?
Well, everything's energy, so, and it doesn't go away, and like it's just always transforming. It's life itself is energetic, right? It's energy, it's our cells, it's in our cells, it's in everything that we experience here on Earth, and beyond. But what it is thoughts and beliefs have energetic attachment. So, when you have a belief like I'm not good enough, say something like that, it's an actual physical block in your system, and it needs to be uncovered and released, because you can keep doing affirmations and mind training. That kind of affirmation stuff, it's very ineffective because the energy needs to shift. So there's usually some kind of past traumatic event, could be past lives, anything where the energy got blocked because you formed a belief about it and you told a story about it, and then that story becomes how you experience the world. And you can't get out of it until you uncover it and see what it is, and also release the resistance to what it is. A lot of people just resist. They don't want to look because they're afraid to see what is actually there in the depth of their being, like, because it's painful. It has memory associated with it. So you're a memory machine, basically. And this whole association that human beings are, we call it an association because you're associated with everything. And words mean certain things because of your conditioning. We're undoing that now because we have to, in order to evolve and in order to bring us out of this paradigm of lack, littleness, and not enoughness, to really get that you are a very powerful person. You're just using your power in the wrong way. You haven't been trained to really utilize the power of your mind to heal rather and create, right? Because we're all creators, but we don't know that when we're stuck and we're living through our childhood, or we're living through our trauma. And everyone has trauma on some level and needs, and I think we need a mass, there hasn't been a mass spiritual awakening yet. It's been really hard on the planet because there's so much negative energy, right? There's so much people wanting control and wanting to fix and wanting to make other people change, but they're not taking full responsibility for their own thoughts and their own mind. And until we do, we're pretty much stuck with what we've got.
Right. I totally agree with that. One more question here before we go to our break. Do you find a commonality when working with clients of similar patterns and belief structures, or is everyone just completely different and unique?
No, there's a collective consciousness here where there's groups of people that believe a certain thing because they've been trained to believe that. Say, whatever religion you're brought up in, you tend to have those beliefs, right, that they kept instilling into your mind when you were a kid. And some of us for lifetimes. I know I've been a Catholic for lifetimes, so I've had to really look at those beliefs and help people shift. In some of my programs, it's just listen to this for 2 hours and it'll clear a lot of that stuff out, because it is a commonly held beliefs that, not good enough, not worthy, those kind of beliefs. We all have those to some degree. We don't really, some of us deny it because we don't want to look there, but if you didn't have those beliefs, you probably wouldn't be on planet Earth. You wouldn't want to stay here.
That's right.
There's not a lot of reason to be here except to go through this journey of awakening and freeing yourself. So,
right.
it's time.
Perfect.
We need to.
So we're going to take a quick break here to grab a word from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're here with Monica Dubay, and we're going to be talking about her book that's an Amazon bestseller. And we're going to be learning what that's all about and some of the programs she has to offer. So hold on. Get what you always wanted. Abundant life is possible. Transform your lifestyle in just weeks. with the most innovative system developed for heart-centered business professionals who seek change today. You are one step away from creating infinite prosperity, happiness, and love. Grab your bonus link now that's in the show notes. Welcome back to the Healing Heart Podcast. My guest today is Monica Dubay, and we are going to be talking here for a few minutes about her book, Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life, a Mindset Mastery Roadmap to Release Fear, Awaken to Your Highest Self, and Create a Powerful Life. So Monica, share with us a little bit about your book. I'm an avid reader, so I'm excited to grab your book and read it. But what would somebody expect to find when they read your book?
Well, unlike a lot of people, this took me about 4 or 5 years to write this. I was really going through a lot of deep transformation when I started writing it. I had the idea that I would publish it, but it was more of a cathartic thing for me to really go through my release of some of the stuff I'd been through. I've been married and divorced 3 times. I've had a custody battle for my 2 boys, which really rocked me. So I wanted to put some of my personal life and my personal transformation into the book, because I really felt that that's going to connect with people, right? With all the stuff that we all go through. And then I really wanted to bring in the idea of the Course in Miracles, what the principles are in terms of how you can use it. So it's really kind of a self-help book to help you look at yourself. There's 3 or 4 questions at the end of each chapter for you to take a look and go deep and ask yourself questions. I think it's pretty transformative if you'll do it, if you'll really look at it and really ask yourself those questions. And I've worked with a lot of people in the last 5 or 6 years personally, one-on-one. I used to just do retreats and workshops. But when I started doing the deeper work with people, big shifts were happening for them. And I wanted to include some of the stories of what they went through, how deep their experience was and how traumatic, and yet it was still released. So that the fact that anything can be healed no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. And I really spent those 4 years. I decided to publish it in 2020 when everything shut down, because it just seemed like the right moment. And even publishing a book is kind of scary. It brings you into like fear of what people are going to think and all of that stuff. And I had to work through all that. But it really is a pathway of discovery, like how you can start to really look at yourself and give up judgment, learn to forgive yourself, learn to, let go of the past and release the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain amount we can do for ourselves. And so, yeah, I hope it's a hopeful book, to help people really learn how to do this on their own. And especially because my journey was so intense with the healing of depression and the healing of anxiety and the challenges with the relationships. And I just think a lot of people need that support too.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that in the book you share some of the different client stories with some of the biggest transformations that people went through. So what do you see as some of the biggest transformations that your clients have received by working with you?
Well, I had one client that was actually, she was amazing. She was studying the Course in Miracles at the time. So she found me in a certain circle of people. And then I offered her this program, and she was pretty debilitated. She had 2 kids, 2 boys. I have 2 boys. But she had chronic fatigue. She wasn't able to get out of bed. She had a husband that was working full time, making all the money. But she was really struggling with, who am I? What am I meant to be doing? She was very much out of alignment with herself. And, we worked together deeply on her relationship with her mom and some of the trauma she went through. And within a year, she had started her own company in the CBD oil business, and now she's a multimillionaire.
Wow.
So she had all that potential there, but she couldn't find herself. She couldn't find what she was meant to be doing. Mm-hmm. And so because we went deep enough, she got to the place where she surprised herself too. Like, oh, I always knew I wanted to be CEO. And I'm like, you do? You know, so I think it was pretty cool because you never know what people are going to do with once they're clear. The world's your oyster. You can do whatever you
Absolutely.
decide, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I like helping leaders, people who are going to make a difference on the planet.
So I believe that all healing is truly a matter of the heart. And as you're sharing with us, by releasing the trauma to get the results for clients to move forward, they get to live their best life ever. For you as a healer, how does it feel when you see those success stories with your clients?
Oh, it's like delightful. Like, wow, I had no idea that was all going to happen. When I see powerful, especially powerful women struggling because they haven't, they've had trauma in their childhood, it's just extraordinary to see them come out of it and see them create something
Mm-hmm.
that's very different from the way they've lived. Um, that's why I love doing it. And I've had even very successful people come, and there's that one thing that's really blocking them. And once that's out and that's healed, they unleash a whole lot more power in the world, and they're able to really go to that next level in their life, in their business, and become really the powerful leader they're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of them are really changing lives. So if I can help people to do that, my dedication to the spiritual awakening is really where I thrive as well. I really want people to wake up to their own inner connection to their higher self
All
and
right.
know they have all power.
Yes, absolutely. It always comes from the inside, doesn't it? So,
Has to. There isn't anything outside of you. It's all in the mind.
right?
Even your thought about the lamp or the computer or the rug, that's still going on in you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Course in Miracles. It teaches you how to really see that, oh, this is my mind and this is a projection of my mind. So I do have power over it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a victim of the world I see,
Right.
you know,
What is
and
what is what is the best piece of wisdom that you can share with our listeners?
well, probably that, you're not a victim of anything here. You actually have all power. You actually are a complete and whole and perfect being, that you've been created by a perfect creator that doesn't create anything but perfection. So when you're confused about that and you think, I have to work at that or I have to make it happen myself, there's a sense of disconnection, a sense of separation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's made up by the human mind. There is no such thing as separation,
Mm-hmm.
but we do believe it. So when we're caught in that, we don't get to be powerful. We don't get to be happy. And the Course says that, this happiness is actually your birthright. Like, God wills that you be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you align your will to the Creator's that will, right, then nothing can get in your way.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way, because this is coming from the mind of Jesus of Nazareth. So it's very powerful healing teaching. And he's there to show us the way, but the Course is the way that each of us comes into it, our own healing, and embraces the teaching
Mm-hmm.
that, you are what love is. You cannot not be that. And there's nothing you cannot do. You have all power. You are the light of the world. There's nothing your holiness cannot do.
Right.
And you're sustained by the love of God. So these lessons, they're now how I think. Once your mind has been trained to not just believe it, but experience that,
Mm-hmm.
like truly experience it,
Mm-hmm.
you know what's real and what isn't. And then you get to be happy because nothing but love is real,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's an idea of fear, but fear is just resistance to love. And when you release fear, you're in the state of love,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to do that in every moment.
I love that. And I love that phrase that you said, you are what love is. I absolutely love that. It is absolutely true. So here in closing, how do the Healing Heart podcasters, excuse me, let me start over. The Healing Heart podcast listeners, there we go, get in touch with you? Where can they find you?
The best way is to go perhaps Instagram, Monica J. Dubay, Dubay. Um, and I also have a website called Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life, and this is the book. If you want to go on Amazon, look for Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life with my name, and it'll come up. That's really a great introduction to what I'm doing. And if you want to know more or to get into my circles, there's a free gift on my website that's actually a program for how to manifest and create your life. I mean, it's really in depth. I looked at it again. It's 6 years old, but I looked at it again last night and I'm like, oh, this still really works. So there's a lot of free stuff that I offer people to help them get started.
Perfect. All right, everybody, you heard it. Go grab her book, check out the website, get your free tools and programs with manifesting, and check out Monica Dubay. I absolutely loved sharing this time here with you today. And thank you so much for being our guest today on the Healing Heart podcast.
You're so welcome, Donna. I so appreciate you. Thank you. It's a delight.
And for everyone that's out there still listening, all of the links and everything that she referenced at the end is going to be all in the show notes. So make sure you guys check that out. And all you have to do is click and access through that as well. All right. For everyone else, go create a beautiful day.